Hello, hello, and welcome to Tuesday Night Live with Jenny Mitich. This is a carnivore question and answer session. Plus, we are doing a book giveaway of my newly released book, Complete Carnivore. I have been giving these away at every live stream. I figured, why not just do it through the end of the year too? Because everybody needs a copy of this book. So the way that you get entered is if you are tuning in, comment hashtag Complete Carnivore, all one word, in the comment section, and you will be entered to win. Boom. Ready to rumble. Also, it's so good to see everybody. I have not had a live stream for about a month, because we have had so much stuff going on, and I want to go over all of it with you. But welcome. If you are new to the channel, my name is Jenny Mitich. I've been on the carnivore diet for almost 3 years. I'm coming up on my 3-year carniversary, and I have lost 50 pounds. I have completely resolved my mental health issues. I had anxiety and depression, completely gone, no longer need medication for anxiety attacks. Oral health improvements. I have seen amazing results in my glucose numbers. I had average glucose in the low 100s. I think if I had stayed that way for longer, probably another 10 years, I probably would have been inching towards type 2 diabetes. But I have normalized my blood sugar markers. My inflammation is super low, and I have lots of energy, no pain. You know, when I was eating gluten all the time, my knee and my joints would hurt. And I don't have that kind of pain anymore. It's amazing. So carnivore has been really healing for me. I started sharing my journey here on YouTube I've had a YouTube channel since 2020. This channel you're currently watching was actually a twin mom lifestyle channel. And then I shared 2 videos in June of 2023. One was a 30-day carnivore update, and the other was a 90-day carnivore update, because I had no carnivore related content on my channel, and they exploded. And I tried to release a few other types of videos after that, but people wanted to see carnivore. So that's what this channel has evolved to, a carnivore educational channel. I do a lot of N of 1 experiments with blood work, DEXA scans, continuous glucose monitoring, and all of those types of things. I also share a lot of recipes, carnivore and keto related recipes, and then lots of carnivore educational content. So I'm here to answer whatever questions you have about this lifestyle. Be sure to leave your questions as well. If you have a question, leave them in the comment section, and I will get to them after I do a little bit of housekeeping, because like I said, it's been about a month since I've had a live stream. We're back to it again. But if you have a question, put like QQQ or a question mark in front of it, so that I'll know that it's a question, and I will try to answer as many questions as I can in this hour that we have. So yeah, if you're just joining me, make sure to comment hashtag Complete Carnivore just one time, so that you can be entered to win a book, which we're going to give away at the end of this live stream. So let's talk a little bit about where have I been, right? So we had our book release live stream party where I gave away 5 copies of the book on November 4th. And then we left to go down to Florida. So we were down there for about 3 weeks. And the very first thing we had to do was the Hack Your Health conference. I was there to do a book signing and also a cooking demo. And let me tell you, it was so much fun. There were so many people at my cooking demo. You can see me up in the right-hand side of the screen there with my lovely friend, Barb Harrell. Barb, if you're here, I love you. She was my cooking assistant. We did the sausage, rosemary, cream cheese bites from my book in the tasty air fryers. It was so much fun. And you know, the funny thing was, it was like on day 1. So in the morning of day 1, I was able to get my part done. We did a book signing right afterwards that went really, really well. There was lots of people. We sold most of our books. I was able to connect with so many of you guys. It was amazing. I have to say that that's like my favorite part of this job. I love meeting you guys in person. So that was super fun. And then we were able to enjoy the rest of the conference. Dave Feldman was there. He and I are good friends now, but I love him. He's kind of like my Beyonce, I always tell him. Because I always fangirl over him, but we're actually friends now. He's really awesome. So it was great to see him. And of course, my good friend, Lauren Knight Hughes. I love Lauren. She and I and Goran all hang out whenever we're at any of these conferences. We are like, she's my spirit animal. I got to meet Aaliyah, the carnivore, in person. Finally, she is 16 years old and she has been doing carnivore for almost 2 years now and has healed so many metabolic health issues. Of course, got to see my girl, Dr. Sabrina Sold. There's Lauren again and me. And of course, the famous Karen Miles of the Chicagoland area. I love Karen. You're going to see her a little bit further into this podcast. So that was Hack Your Health. Had a great time. It was super fun. Learned a lot. It's kind of like a family reunion, you know. If you go to any of these low carb conferences, you will meet your people. So make sure to go to these types of conferences. I'm hoping to go again next year and maybe do a cooking demo or speak or do whatever. We'll see what happens. So that was the 14th through the 16th of November. And then I went on a cruise with Dr. Lisa Wiedemann and Dr. Boz and Steak and Butter Gal and 73 other fellow low carb, carnivore, keto people. It was so much fun. So let's see here. Here's a good group of us. We went over to this wonderful beach club in Cozumel called Bacanos. That was super fun. And the 2 days that we were at sea, we did kind of like a 2-hour Q&A session with me, Steak and Butter Gal, Dr. Boz, and Dr. Lisa. There's no audience feature here. That's Chip. He's super awesome, but there's a bunch of people in the audience there. We all had dinners together, so this was kind of like formal night. All of these beautiful people are different guests that were on the trip. It was so much fun. We had a formal night, and I was able to dress up. I never get to dress up. Here's a picture of all of us. I'm way, way, way at the top on the upper left-hand side. Dr. Boz is in there too somewhere, and then Bella and Lisa are in the front. So much fun. Laura there. Oh, we had such a blast. What else? Here's another one of me and Goran. And then on the outings, me and Barb and her husband, Kenny, and my husband, Goran, we ended up having a lot of fun together on the cruise. So that was super fun. We ended up staying in Florida through to the beginning of December, and we had Thanksgiving with our family down there, cooked some turkeys. It was great. And then we headed back to the Chicagoland area, and it was snowy and horrible. And the drive home was precarious at best, but we made it home. And we just went and did our Santa pictures with the boys. This is our Santa photo for 2025, little nuggets. And there's one with all of us in there. Oh, so cute. And then this past weekend, we ended up doing, there was a smaller Chicagoland meetup with the fantastic Karen Miles and crew. So I was able to head into the city and hang out with this amazing group of all women this time. This is usually, in the first or second week of December. And it's just a smaller group of us that all go and hang out together, walk around the city, get some food, and catch up. So that was super fun. If you want to go to these Chicagoland meetups, you need to follow Karen Miles on Instagram. It's karen.s.miles. She is amazing, and she is the one that organizes all of this kind of stuff. So there's that. Let's talk about the book release, you guys, because holy smokes, the book is doing so well, and that's because of you. I want to share my screen with you. If I can remember how to do it. There we go. Share the screen. This one, share. Okay, so you can see here, Complete Carnivore, 66 reviews. Right now you can't see this on here, but it was I think it still is, a top bestseller in ketogenic cookbooks. And you can see it's also still very discounted, $23.94 right now. So be sure to take advantage of that for the holiday season, because that's not going to be that way for very much longer, but amazing. And I will say, if you guys have a copy of the book and you have not yet reviewed it, if you could go to wherever you purchase this book and review it, it would be super, super helpful. So to get this book out to the more mainstream and everything, it's imperative that it has really good reviews. So if you're loving my book, I would really appreciate it if you would go and review it wherever you purchased it online. We're trying to get this book into every bookstore shelf, onto every bookstore shelf in America. And you reviewing it and purchasing and all these things is really, really helpful. So thank you. Just a few more housekeeping things before we'll get over to the comment section. Be sure to comment #CompleteCarnivore for your chance to win a copy of my new book, Complete Carnivore. I'm going to be picking a winner at the end of this live stream. It's a no makeup Tuesday because I just went and got a chemical peel today. My skin is very glowy, but also a bit red. And I just released a video on my channel on Sunday about my skincare routine. I have a few very specific things that I do. There are treatments that I get done and things like that. And I do get questions from you guys often about it. So I decided to create a video about it. If that's your thing, head over and watch it. I do understand that this is a bit more niche, not for everybody. But if you are into that kind of stuff, that video is now live on my channel. And the final housekeeping thing I have is that Dr. Kiltz is going to be joining us next week on my live stream. So be sure to gather any questions that you have for him or for me, whatever. We're going to be chatting on this live stream next week. So very exciting. Oh, God, that's a lot. That is a lot of stuff. I'm going to put a QR code up in the upper left hand of the screen, and that is so you can order the book on Amazon if you want a great Christmas gift for somebody out there. And again, if you have a question, be sure to put QQQ or a question mark in front of it so that I can see. And I think we should just get over to the questions. What do you think? So exciting. So exciting. All right. Everybody is commenting. Breeze, good to see you. It's good to see you as well. Thank you for joining me today. Complete Carnivore. Hi there, first live with you. Well, great. Welcome. I'm so happy that you were able to join me. I am going to be doing these every Tuesday, probably for the next month. I think Tuesday is kind of the day that we've settled on. And my goal is to do these as often as possible. Holidays and travel and being on a cruise, like our internet was terrible when we were on that cruise. So wasn't able to, but this is the time, 5 p.m. Central, Tuesdays. Complete Carnivore. All right. Welcome, average keto carnivore guy, Aaron. New here, bought your book, 8 Months on Carnivore-ish Way of Living. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, let us know. I am here to help you. All right. First time live with you also. Hello. Welcome. I have a lot of newcomers today. I'm super happy about that. It's December and a lot of people can get bogged down in December. With all the holiday parties and extra goodies that are laying around. But for me, December is always kind of the month that I hit it the hardest. Like I feel good when I stay carnivore in December, I just feel better. I feel like I can do anything, and it's such a busy season that it's important for me to be able to feel good. All right, we have our first question. All right, question. I'm 2 years and 9 days on carnivore, down 155 pounds, type 2 diabetes, can't get A1C below 8.8. Daily sugars average 12.5. Off of 13 meds, don't take any meds. What can I do? Okay, so great work on losing the weight. Just to let everyone know, I'm not a medical professional. I can't give medical advice, but I can steer you in the right direction. I do recommend working with a physician on things like this. So you've lost a lot of weight. How much more weight do you have to lose? It seems like your sugar is still a bit high for sure. And anytime I see blood sugar high on a carnivore diet, I always think lowering the fat macro a little bit. So my husband had a similar issue. He was never type 2 diabetic, but large amounts of visceral fat. His blood sugar was elevated, fasting insulin elevated, and things like that. And we found that taking him from like a 70% fat to 30% protein, like the normal carnivore, just lowering the fat a bit and raising the protein. So we went to 60% fat to 40% protein. That was really, really helpful. I would say play around with your macros a little bit. I would also recommend eating your final meal earlier in the day. So if you're eating dinner at 6 p.m., try eating it at like 4. Dr. Boz talks a lot about if you have a lot of stubborn insulin resistance, having your final meal around 2 p.m. And also incorporating some kind of fasting can be really, really helpful. Those would probably be the things that I would start with to try to get those numbers under control. All right, Tammy. Hello, everyone. Hello, Tammy. Be sure to comment hashtag complete carnivore for your chance to win a copy of my new book that just came out. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Hello, everyone. Ginger, your skin looks amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just had it peeled off. So my girl Gina, my esthetician, does bio repeals only in the fall and winter. We haven't done one yet this season. So I got dermaplaned. What that means is that's just like your face is shaved, get all the little hairs and the first layer of skin off. And then she did the bio repeal and some extractions. So my skin is going to look really, really, really good for a while. And then I think she said the next few times we see each other, she wants to do microneedling, because I've noticed that I have some pores, like some different pores coming up that I can see. And you can minimize those with microneedling. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, everybody is commenting complete carnivore. Fantastic. Breeze, I saw your skincare videos. Great. Yeah, I just did an updated one. I did one, I don't know, like a year and a half ago, and then I just did a recent one. I'm just sharing everything I do. I don't believe in gatekeeping. I also don't believe that people should lie about what they do for their skin. Any kind of treatments that you get done or plastic surgery or anything like that, just because I don't think that's fair to people, especially when, you know, you're on TV. So I like to be honest. So I shared everything that I do, from lifestyle to products that I use, my makeup routine when I wear makeup, and the treatments that I get done and the ones that I find to be effective. I'm kind of a psycho about skincare. So I wanted to share everything that I've learned with you guys. If you are just joining me here, make sure to comment hashtag complete carnivore so you can get entered for a chance to win a copy of my new book. Tammy, I ordered your book. Can't wait to have it in my hands. I'm so excited for you to have it as well. This book I'm so happy with how it turned out. So happy. It's heavy. It's 400 pages long, guys. It's not just a cookbook. It is first and foremost a complete in-depth guide to the carnivore diet. It will walk you through any issues that you're having on carnivore. There's a whole chapter, chapter 5, on troubleshooting. There's a whole chapter, chapter 8, on monitoring your progress with the different monitoring tools that are out there for everybody. Over-the-counter continuous glucose monitors, ketones, ketone management, blood work that you can get done, DEXA scans and how to read them, and then different actionable steps that you can take to improve all of those markers. So there's so much in this book, so much. I'm so happy for you to have it too. We've got another first timer to the live. Welcome. Lots of first timers today. I'm really happy with that. You know, carnivore is really growing in popularity. It's not reached its peak yet. It's on its way up. So it's so good to see a lot of new people here. All right, here's a great question. Ketogenic woman, Anita, I love her. She's amazing. Said that you have some Serbian recipes in your book. Are you or your husband Serbian? I'm 50% and seeking Serbian recipes. Thanks. That's a great question. So my last name is Mitich. I am not Serbian. My husband is Serbian. And my mother-in-law, Sandy, is an amazing cook. She was actually a professional chef before she retired. So she and I get along really well. I get along with both of my in-laws. All my in-law family is amazing. I love them to death. And she shared some of her personal Serbian recipes that she grew up with. So in this book, there's a few. I believe there's 5. So we have, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of these because I suck at life. But Chevaps, Pljeskavica, Čvarci, which is a Serbian pork cracklin. That's actually on the cover right there. Boop, boop. We also have American kajmak. Kajmak is kind of like a clotted cream, and it takes a really long time to make. But the way that my mother-in-law makes it is, this is actually part of this, the American kajmak, when we make it into like a pumpkin for Christmas. What else is Serbian in here? I believe there's like 5. And I can't think of any more right now. But those are that. And if we end up doing another cookbook, which we would love to, I have a list of like 180 recipes. So maybe like 2 more we could do before we go on to like another book like this one. We will definitely be including more Serbian recipes in it. So the cool thing about the Serbian culture and diet is it's very meat heavy. Now it is European, so it's also very bread heavy, but you can eat all of that meat without bread. We do it all the time. So yeah, a few Serbian recipes in there, and there will be more to come for sure. Okay. The powerlifting carnivore. Hello, this is a great question. Hi. Any indication on upper end of protein intake that could be causing blood sugar dysregulation at nighttime? Thanks for all your incredible knowledge. That is a great question. And I think it is so bio-individual. So if you are having some blood sugar wackiness in the evening, there's a few things that could be going on that are not even related to protein. It could just be that you're eating too late. It could be too much protein. It could be too much fat. It could be stress. It could be sleep. It could be a lot of things. By the name of your handle, the powerlifting carnivore, I'm assuming that you are lifting heavy, that you're eating a lot of protein. I would say try experimenting with eating your final meal earlier in the day. I don't know what time you're eating now, but if you're having some wackiness in the evening, I would say try to eat a little bit earlier and try to do your most like protein heavy meal around lunchtime. For me, where am I at right now? I'm at probably 145 grams of protein today, and I'm probably going to I'll probably hit 200 today. And my blood sugar currently is, kind of went up because I was on an interview and I was a bit stressed, 96 right now. But all day it's been in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So I'm seeing just fine numbers with really high amounts of protein for me. Kind of doing an N of 1 experiment right now. So that's something that I think you're going to have to experiment with and see. Also, are you getting your protein from meat, all meat, or are you doing any kind of protein shakes or anything? Sometimes when I do a protein shake, I will see a blood sugar spike just because the protein is pulverized and it hits your bloodstream so quick. I have seen that, but it's so individualized. It's so individualized. I would say just experiment with it and see what works best for you. Figure it out. I think that's kind of something that would be easy to figure out, I think. Everybody is commenting complete carnivore. Good evening, all. Good to see you. All right. PJ Miller, I just watched your interview with Steak and Butter Gal. I think that is my favorite of yours so far. Thank you so much. I love Bella. She is so nice. She's a legit nice person. Her husband, Max, is amazing. We always chat with him whenever we see him at these conferences and stuff. She's always super busy because she's, very popular, but she's legit super nice. I really, really like her. I would love to become better friends with her. We never see each other, but she's great. And thank you. I had a really fun time interviewing her. I like to ask the people that I interview like questions that I don't hear often or ever, so like the story of her and of how her and Max met and things like that. I thought that was really fun. So if you're just joining us, be sure to comment #CompleteCarnivore and make sure it's all one word so that you can get entered into the giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a copy of my new book, Complete Carnivore. And also, if you have a question, be sure to put a QQQ or a question mark in front of it so that I know it's a question, and we will get to as many as we can. So I am here for you. I am here for you for the next 36 minutes. If you have any burning questions, leave them in the comment section. If you have any big wins on carnivore, things are going well, share that with us as well. This is community. We are here to support each other, and I love hearing your success stories as well. So we'll put that one back up and head out. Okay. Average keto carnivore guy, Aaron. I struggle to be fully carnivore. I had gastric bypass surgery years ago. I find some healthy veg helps my digestive system, and that's totally fine. As Dr. Ken Berry says, it's the proper human diet. It's a spectrum. Okay. So if you're doing keto or ketovore, that's totally fine. If it's working for you, awesome. That's great. My husband and I do a keto cheat meal once a month. I can eat a salad. It doesn't hurt me. I can do asparagus. I can do Brussels sprouts. Where I find problems come in is like fruit. I cannot moderate fruit very well. Also I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. It's an autoimmune thyroid condition. I have been feeling a lot better and I'm working on putting it in remission. But if I have anything with lots of sugar in it, like fruit or any kind of just regular sugar, things like that, my blood sugar just shoots through the roof. The blood sugar regulation with Hashimoto's is just like non-existent. So staying carnivore is the best for me. I experimented with adding fruits and vegetables back into my version of carnivore for the first half of this year, and I gained 20 pounds. So I had to cut it back out. And that's fine. It just didn't work for me. I have now lost that weight and a little bit more, so that's good. Feeling a lot better. But yeah, if it's working for you, Erin, awesome. I think that's great. I am not the carnivore police, and I am not going to chastise you for eating things that help your digestive system and help you to feel good. I think that's great. That is great. Terry, hi Jenny, your book is fantastic. I've flagged many recipes already for the holidays. Haha, that's awesome. I am so happy that you were enjoying it. I worked very hard on that book. It took 6 months to write. And then the full process, I think, from start to finish was about 14 months. And I am so, so happy with how it turned out. I think it's evergreen. I think it's going to help a lot of people regain their metabolic health. And I hope that you love my recipes. Be sure to tag me in them if you do any videos on social media or anything like that, either on YouTube or on Instagram, TikTok. You can tag me so I can see what you come up with. That's awesome. Let's see here. Wild3793, make sure to add an E at the end for carnivore. Otherwise, you will not be entered. So make sure to comment again, #complete_carnivore with an E on the end. Good question. So would eating a banana a day disrupt the carnivore diet? I think in general, no. The thing with bananas is they're very high sugar. So if you eat them by themselves, your blood sugar will spike. How much it spikes is going to depend on you, your body, your stress levels, how much sleep you've had, and all that kind of stuff. If you wanted to eat a banana every day, I would say if you're going to do that, eat it earlier in the day and make sure to eat some protein first. So this is a great hack for anybody out there. If you want to buffer any glucose spike, make sure to consume all of your protein first and then wait about 10 minutes and then consume your carbohydrates. It's amazing the difference it makes. So if you were to eat a banana, they call it naked carbs. If you ate a banana all on its own, your blood sugar spike would probably be like a big spike and then dip. If you ate protein first and then your banana, it would be more like this. It wouldn't go as high and it would be more gentle, which is what you're looking for. You don't want to be having massive spikes and dips all day long. That would be a lot of variability. And in your glucose, you want your variability to be pretty minimal. You don't want to be having wild spikes and dips all day. So I think, yeah, some people thrive on like meat and fruit. And a banana, I don't know, is like 25, 30 grams of carbs. Some people do really well with that. But I would suggest looking at your data and seeing if it's really spiking you. Like for me, I can't eat a banana. Bananas will spike my blood sugar so high, and then I feel like crap. So go off of feel, go off of data, and see how it makes you feel. I think that if you have a sugar addiction issue, if that's one of the reasons you came to carnivore, it's probably a good idea to avoid sweet things. And if you find that a banana kind of throws you off the rails and you start to want to consume other very high carb items, I would say don't eat it. But again, like with everything, there is nuance to this. Stephanie, #complete_carnivore. Thank you. If you're just joining me, be sure to comment #complete_carnivore so that you can be entered to win a copy of my new book, Complete Carnivore. I am so dry-throated right now. I never talk this much in a day. So that's what's happening right now. Pamela, what supplements do you take for your Hashimoto's? Have you tried a T2 supplement? Yes. So I do some medications. I do an NP thyroid, which is like T4 and T3. I also take liothyronine, which is just T3. And then I don't think I have it here, Ancestral Supplements has a desiccated thyroid supplement that I take. And then there's other things I take for thyroid support. So I take selenium, I take a zinc with copper, I take a D3, a K2, I take a B complex because I have an MTRR gene mutation. So it doesn't matter how much red meat I eat, my body won't methylate the B vitamins very well. So I have to give it the methylated form so that it can do what it needs to do. I have taken a T2 before. I'm working with Dr. Amy Horniman's team. So she has a great T2 supplement. I took it for a few months. I honestly didn't really notice much of a difference. So I'm one of those people where like medication has helped a little bit. I have been having to do a lot of gut healing work and stress relief. And I think parasite and bacterial and viral overgrowth, I think, is kind of like my root cause for the Hashimoto's. So I've been going down some deep dives there, and I have been feeling better. I have a very high stress job. It's just me, for the most part, doing this. I have an editor for videos, but social media and being on YouTube and all that stuff, like managing everything yourself, it's a lot of work. And I have the twins and, have to have a normal life as well. So for me, dialing in the stress stuff and making sure I'm relaxing, getting good sleep has been really helpful as well. But yeah, I have a whole video on what I use for Hashimoto's. Let's see, Hashi Vit video. I will link that in the description of this live stream at the end once we sign off so that you can access that. But I have a whole video on that topic because I think it's important. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, you can't take supplements if you're on Carnivore. You have everything you need. Like, if you're dealing with something, you need to give your body the support it needs. And for Hashimoto's, like selenium and zinc and D3, K2, and a few others are like super important. You have to take those. Iodine, I take iodine. This is the iodine that I use. This one is linked in the description right now. This is from Accelerated Health Products. Very clean, free of heavy metals and things like that. Pambo, steak and butter gal is from my hometown, Seattle. Maybe not originally, though. Yeah, I think she lives there currently. I don't know if she's from there originally. But yeah, she's great. I love Seattle. My niece, Kaylee, and Goran and I went out there a couple years ago. We used to do call it a crisscross applesauce aunt, niece, uncle trip. So she would pick where she wanted to go, and we would go for like 4 days and go and see museums and different sites. And Seattle was one of them. It was really fun. Okay. I'm getting confused with how much protein I should be eating. I can really eat a lot, but should I? 52 years old, 235 pounds, recent gallbladder removal, 125 grams. Okay, so there's so many different ways that you can calculate this. I always say start with 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. So how much do you want to weigh? Like, if you were in perfect shape, what would that number be? And then you can aim for a minimum of that. But like for you, if your, goal is 190 pounds, it's a lot of protein, right? 190 grams. Now it's doable. Like I said, I'm going to be at 200 grams today, probably. But you can also calculate it at like 0.6 grams of carbs per pound of ideal body weight, 0.8, 1, 1.2, 1.5. It's really dependent on your goals. If you're doing a lot of strength training and you're trying to build muscle, you need to eat more protein. You have to be eating in a caloric surplus with a lot of protein to grow something. Sorry for the sound. Wow, it's very, very loud. So I guess what I would say is, how do you feel? Do you feel good? Are you reaching the goals that you want to reach? How is your blood sugar? Is it good? You know? And then go from there. I think 125 grams of protein would be your minimum, honestly. My minimum is 130 grams per day because I do 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. So I think you can do more. If you can eat it, awesome. If you're still reaching the goals you want to eat, awesome. With the gallbladder removal, the thing you need to pay attention to is the fat, because now that you don't have a gallbladder, you don't have a large bolus of bile that your body can use to process fats. So you may find that you may need to slow down the fat consumption just a little bit, or use like an ox bile or an HCl supplement or something like that. But yeah, that's everything I can think of. Make sure to comment #CompleteCarnivore if you're just joining us, so that you can be entered to win a copy of my new book, Complete Carnivore. We're going to be doing that drawing here at the end of this live stream. Okay. This is another really great question, Erin. For ground beef, what fat ratio do you find gives you the best results? 73-27, 80-20. So right now, beef is super expensive. So I buy the cheapest that I can find, which just recently was $85.15 at my local Jewel. They were selling it for $3 a pound. What? So I picked that up. I think at Costco, the big bulk ground beef you can get is also $85.15. 73-27 tends to be cheaper because there's more fat in it. And 80-20, if you look in my book, all of my recipes just recommend 80-20 because that's a really good fat to protein ratio. 80% lean, 20% protein. It's opposite of the way that we do macros for, people. But I think it's just what you can find that's the cheapest, and then see what works for you. Because the thing is like with ground beef, that fat renders out. So if you have a higher fat ground beef, you're just losing a lot of it in the cooking. So yeah, I just go off a price. That is what I do currently. Okay, this is a great question, Sarah. Any ideas why my blood glucose is always in the 90s? I test first thing in the AM. Ketones are always 1.5 or higher. The only time my glucose goes below 90 is if I'm doing a long fast. I do OMAD. I don't think glucose in the 90s is bad. That's great, especially if your ketones are that good. I'm jealous. My blood glucose is typically anywhere between, 70 and 110, depending on what I'm eating. I personally wouldn't be concerned with glucose in the 90s. That's good. That's not a bad thing. If you're looking to get it lower than that, try eating earlier in the day, or maybe try breaking up that meal into 2. If you're doing OMAD, just try doing it into 2, maybe just a short feeding window, and see what happens. I would be concerned if your blood glucose was inching into the hundreds, 110 in the morning, but 90s, that's normal. Mine is in the 90s too on a strict carnivore diet. Now it will go lower if I'm fasting, but yeah. Be sure to comment #CompleteCarnivore. Oh, hello, my friend. Greetings from Alaska. Sorry I'm late. I shall give myself a tardy slip. Great to see you back, Jenny. Great to see you as well. I gave a whole recap as to what was going on for the past month with being down in Florida, the Hack Your Health conference, and then Dr. Lisa's cruise, Thanksgiving, and then we were back here. We did Santa photos with the boys, and we just did a Chicagoland meetup. So it's very, very nice to be back, to see everybody in this beautiful chat. We have such a good group here in our live streams, so be sure to join us every Tuesday. TTTHC says, I try to eat at least 1 gram of protein per pound. So you can do that as well. I always do by pound of ideal body weight, and it's just a minimum that I'm going for. So like today, I did some strength training, so I'm doing more protein. I'm also doing an experiment where I'm only eating McDonald's burger patties for 10 days. I did a DEXA scan yesterday and blood work, and I'm doing just a new N of 1 experiment. So I've just been eating those. I'll have some more after we get off of this. Okay. 80/20 is on sale today at Amazon Fresh. Wow, $1.99 a pound. Bought 12 pounds for under $8. That's really good. I should check that out and see if that's a deal near me. We eat so much. Here's the thing. Jewel always has really good deals on something. So like before I left for Florida, there was a deal on chicken wings. 99 cents a pound for chicken wings. They're normally like $2.50 to $4.50, even up to $4.99 a pound. So I was like, all right, I love chicken wings. So I bought so many chicken wings. I have a whole freezer full of them. We have a deep freezer. We have our garage fridge with a freezer, and then we have our freezer and fridge inside the house. So I need to stop buying meat and just eat what I have. But I keep finding these amazing deals, and I'm like, what if the apocalypse comes and I need meat? But then it's like, oh, what if we don't have electricity? It'd all go bad. So I need to stop. I just need to eat that. Okay. Sarah, okay, thank you. I eat my meal in the morning between 8 and 10 a.m. Okay, great. Yeah, I think I try to always eat breakfast. I'm trying to do a lot of circadian alignment stuff, and you just have a better insulin response when you're eating your food in the daytime. So even if when you get up, and not for you specifically, Sarah, but just for everyone else out there, you eat a little something when you wake up and then eat your largest meal around lunchtime, and then dinner is just a little bit lighter. That's really helpful. When Dr. Boz was on the cruise, she was able to dive into a lot of her philosophy behind like making sure ketones are elevated and making sure glucose is down, and like how strategies on how to eat. And it was very fascinating. How do I get more potassium? It's a really good question. That's not something I super worry about. I just do my element electrolytes, and then I just eat my normal food. But let me see which meats are high in potassium. Because if you want to do it with food, you can do it that way too. So the top highest potassium meats is going to be beef. Leaner cuts, sirloin, round, flank is like 330 to 400 milligrams per 3.5 ounces of meat. So if you want to do that, you can eat a lot of beef, ground beef. 90% lean has a lot. Pork, chicken, turkey, salmon, cod, halibut, shellfish, lamb. Those would be what I would be doing there. I personally don't really worry too much about potassium, so I guess I'm not the best person to ask, but that's what I would do. Eat a lot of beef, pork, turkey, lamb, shellfish, salmon, cod, halibut, tuna, all have really, really, really good amounts of potassium per 3.5 ounce serving. And as carnivores, we're always eating more than that, so you can do that. All right. Hashtag complete carnivore. Make sure if you're just joining us to comment hashtag complete carnivore so that you get a chance to win a copy of my new book that we're going to be giving away here in about 15 minutes. Yes. Hello. Hello. Copper's Kitchen is one of my Serbian friends. It's very good to see you. I'm happy to be back on, happy to be back home. Good to have you back. I thought I was missing the lives. LOL. Nope. I was not here. Nope. And next week, we're going to be having Dr. Kiltz on as a special guest. I am going to start having occasionally on these live streams special guests. So be sure to stay tuned for that. It would be so nice to have more options. We have Walmart and Kroger. Yeah, I'm lucky that I live in an area that there's a lot of grocery stores, a lot. Jewel, Whole Foods, Walmart, Aldi, a lot of international grocery stores and little niche grocery stores. So yeah, we have a lot going on. Carnivore Helix, hello, hello, good to see you. Can you say again what the fat to protein is for the bulk ground beef at Costco? Yeah, sure. So it's usually, the ones in the big container, the big package, not the individual portions. Usually that's like 85-15, 85% lean to 15% fat, which I think is totally fine. All right, I saw your poor man's oyster Rockefeller video and I can't wait to try it. Oh man, that is so good. I found that video on TikTok and I'm like, I have to try this, but try to make it a little bit more carnivore. So I did it without the breadcrumbs And, you know, I got some flack in the comment section of that video because I just cooked it directly in the tin. People are like, oh my God, microplastics, BPA, blah. So you don't have to do that if you don't want to. That's just how it was done on TikTok. So that's how I tried it. It is absolutely delicious. I would love to take probably like, I don't know, 6 to 8 cans and put that in a shallow baking dish and just layer it that way as so you have more. You know, but that's a great way to get more omega-3s into your carnivore diet. Okay. Question, does the amount of stevia in flavored element, is it enough for me to be worried on carnivore? So that's a nuanced question, you know? Some people on carnivore don't want to include any kind of sweeteners, so they do the raw unflavored if they're using Element, or there's tons of other brands out there you can use as well. Me personally, I've been loving their lemonade salt, which I think has 1 gram of carbs and has a little bit of stevia in it. I don't have an issue with it. As you can see, I'm drinking a caffeine-free Coke Zero. There's aspartame in this. This stuff doesn't bother me. I don't drink it often, but once in a while I will. And yeah, you have to figure out what works best for you. If you feel fine when you're drinking it, if it doesn't trigger any kind of sugar addiction stuff, or carb cravings, then I think it's fine. But some people do avoid it. And it really, it's up to what works best for you. If you have a question or comment, please put a QQQ in front of it so I can pick it out of the chat. We've got about 14 minutes left. So if you have a burning question, be sure to ask it. We're going to be meeting again next week, but Dr. Kiltz is going to be here, so you might have some specific questions for him. But if you are running into any issues or anything like that, just be sure to leave it in the comment section. I would be happy to answer it for you. And if you're just joining the chat here, comment #Complete Carnivore so you can get a chance to win a copy of my new book, Complete Carnivore. I am giving away a copy at the end of this live stream. Let's go back to the comments. Everybody is commenting. Very well. Okay, chicken wings are way overpriced. Plus, their white meat thighs are a quarter of the price, and dark meat and higher fat. Yeah, I love wings. I love them. I do them with the Primal Kitchen buffalo sauce. They're pretty fatty. They're fine. I don't buy them when they're full price, though. Yeah, they're way overpriced. So that 99-cent wing deal, I bought so many. I probably bought like 12 packages, and each package was like 2.5 pounds. So yeah, but I won't spend full price on them. You're right. Thighs definitely they're very good. Higher fat, tasty, but I just have a thing. I got a hankering for wings from time to time, you know? All right, ours have both 80-20 and 85-15. You can ask the butcher there for a mix, and they're pretty decent about it. Oh, that's nice. Very interesting. Yeah, I don't know why our Costco doesn't mention the breakdown. The thing that I have, you know, just on the, it just says 85-15 on the label. I haven't noticed any difference there. We only have like 3 ground beef options at my Costco. There's the organic one, and then there's the big bulk one, and then there's one other that's just like in those 1.5 pound packages. Okay, how many beef thyroid caps from Ancestral do I need? I've been taking 2 in the morning. Yeah, I think on the label it says 1 per day. If you take 2, great. So it just depends on you. But yeah, I think 1 or 2 would be good. Here's an example of somebody that all the sweeteners bump their CGM. Sweeteners bump my CGM 10 plus points. Tried them all, even allulose, and all trigger cravings for days. I need to avoid. Yes, if they're triggering cravings, 100% avoid them. You do not want to be dealing with that. And you don't want to go into the carb ditch for sure. Karen Kruger already bought the book. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Did Dr. Kiltz mention this? I don't know. He does a lot of live streams and a lot of content, so I don't know. He might not even know that he's on because I booked it with his lovely, lovely person, Alia, and he'll probably just show up on that day. I love Dr. Kiltz. He's one of my absolute favorite people. I just bought your book. Love it. Thank you so much, Linda. I really appreciate it. anybody out there that has the book, if you have not left a review yet, I would really appreciate it if you go to wherever you purchased it and leave a review. Reviews are really helpful for pushing the book out to the mainstream, and we're trying to get the message of the carnivore diet out to as many people as humanly possible, to try to heal as many people as humanly possible with the power of carnivore. So if you could do that, I would very much so appreciate it. Great question, Brian. What are your thoughts on the lion diet? I love that. I think it is an amazing healing tool for people that are suffering from severe metabolic health issues. There's some people that they have to eat that way for a while in order to fully heal. I also think it can be a good intervention for everybody, maybe doing it for a month. I'm contemplating doing lion in January for World Carnivore Month. I actually have never done it, which is so funny because I've been on carnivore for almost 3 years, but I've just never done it. I think I'm going to do a 1 month lion diet experiment and see how it goes. But I would probably just do beef. I'm not a big fan of lamb. I could do other ruminants, I guess, but beef is just so readily available that I think I could make it happen. But yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great. Does everybody need to do it? No. I think it depends on what you're trying to heal. But yeah, I think it's good. Jenny, I love that you can eat wings for me. You're very good. Wow, I love wings. There was some times when I have a kick where I eat wings like 3 days in a week. And yeah, that is what it is. All meat, all seafood, eggs, and butter is my version of carnivore. It's a great question. Have you noticed any difference when you use the stainless steel grilling rack in the Tasty air fryer versus cooking steak directly on the black perforated tray? So I just used that grill rack for the very first time when I was cooking. I'm trying to perfect my chicken tender recipe, my carnivore chicken tender recipe. And we used it, and it just really helps to crisp everything up better. We typically just do the steaks right on the black tray, and it seems to work fine. But when I was at Hack Your Health, my friend Angela was volunteering for the Tasty booth, and she had done a steak on the rack with the temperature probe, of course, and it just was like perfect. So I think I'm going to experiment with it. I think the difference would just be, I think it would make that outer crust of the steak just better. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I will be using that stainless steel grilling rack more. All right, I got a great deal. Got a great buy on whole turkeys today. 50 cents a pound. What? That's amazing. 2 15-pound birds. I really, really, really need to go buy some more turkeys because they're so easy to cook. In my book, I show you how to cook a spatchcock turkey, and it's just so simple. And I love turkey, so we need to have a few more laying around. I think I need to go to the store and find some good deals, but I need that. I need 50-cent turkey in my life. That is very weird that they don't show. There we go. They're talking about the ground beef. Cheese is my biggest weakness. I eat way too much. Yes, it's carnivore, but it slows my results. Yeah, that's very, very common. Cheese and dairy has an addictive quality to it. It's delicious, but there's also certain chemicals in it that can be addictive. It's easy to overeat. I personally can't do conventional dairy because of the Hashimoto's. It flares me up ridiculously, but I do have a shipment of Miller's raw dairy on the way because I'm going to be doing a few like holiday versions of some of the recipes in my book. And I wanted to make sure that I could eat some of it. So I got all the raw. But yeah, I feel you on that. It does slow down your results. Hello, John. A lot of people struggle with cheese. It's extremely nutrient dense, and the casomorphines for me at least lead to overconsumption like carb addiction light. Yeah, 100%. Okay, I've also been thinking about doing longer strides with the Lion diet. I'll do the Lion a week before my cycle, then a few days after my cycle. Tammy, I'll definitely go leave a review for your cookbook. This is my first time catching your live stream, but I followed you on YouTube for almost 2 years. I always get so much info. Thank you, Tammy. I really appreciate it. And Carnivore Helix, yes, I agree. You can cycle Lion. I think it can be used as a tool. for sure. Bonnie, I'm late. It's been a rough day. LOL. I'm so sorry you've had a rough day. It is time to relax and chill and hang out with us. I can eat pork belly every day of the week. Yeah, pork belly is amazing. Amazing. I'm going to do the Lion Diet with Anita and the Ketogenic Woman crew. So are they doing a January Lion Diet thing? Because I want to do it too. Want to do it too. Karen, review done. 5 stars. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. I love you all so much. I love you. We got a lot of people commenting. Hashtag complete carnivore. We have 5 minutes left, so get it in. See who's going to win this book. Everybody's saying hello to each other. And we have such an amazing group of people here. We've got another question. All right. I have thin cut ribeye. How do you cook these? So Goran, my husband, likes to call these minute steaks. So we get a pan, like a cast iron, really, really hot. And we put like a ton of bacon grease in it or butter. And then we put the ribeye in for 1 minute on each side. If it's thin, like the thin cut ribeyes from Costco, you really don't need to cook them more than that. Otherwise they'll get overcooked. So I like to do the thin cut ones that way. Everybody is saying hello. Make sure to type hashtag complete carnivore so you can get in the drawing to win my book. Walmart every year after Thanksgiving. All right, I'm going to have to head to Walmart tomorrow and see if they have these 50-cent birds. I have not yet seen a deal on prime rib either. I want to bone in, and like Jewel has them for $6.99 a pound, usually in November. Karen Miles, my friend Karen, had a post about it, but we weren't here. So we need to find... Yeah, make sure you have no space. No space with the hashtag. Glad to be here. You all make me happy. You make me happy too. Question, what does a flare-up look like for you, Jenny? My Hashimoto's is asymptomatic, only shows up in labs. All levels are good, save TPO and ATG. I tolerate dairy well. Okay, so for me, if I have gluten, there's a few things. So with the gluten, I get joint pain and my knee starts to hurt. And then I'm just wiped out, tired for like 2 days. If I have dairy, I can do a little tiny bit of conventional dairy and be okay. But if I do any kind of normal serving, this eye gets puffy, my joint pain, general malaise, and I just feel super wiped out. But with the dairy, I also have like mental health stuff. Like I feel anxious, a little bit depressed. It's so funny because back in the day, like a decade or more ago, I used to love Summer Shandy beer from Line and Kugels. And I tried to have one this summer. And first of all, it didn't taste great. Not what I remembered. But second, I made it halfway through and I got a headache and I felt like crap for like 2 days after that. And I had to give the rest of it away. So I just cannot have gluten in beer or anything like that anymore. It's kind of amazing. If I have something with gluten in it, my knee and my hands start to ache like right away. Like on the way home from Florida, I had one of my boys' chicken nuggets from McDonald's. And within 2 hours, this hand had a shooting pain down the wrist and in my hand to where I couldn't hold the steering wheel like this. I had to like have this one down. It was really, really bad. I cannot mess around with gluten or dairy, conventional dairy. I can eat raw dairy just fine. It's insane. Yepers, this is a happy place for sure. It is. I don't know that I would like to eat like a lion. Oh, there we go. My son likes to cook those ribeyes. Very good. I love Karen Miles. I also love Karen Miles. She's one of my favorite people. Meyer is great for sales on prime rib. I don't think I have a Meyer near me, but I need to check it out. Gluten tears me in half. Right now, I'm addicted to the carnivore eggnog. Thank you, Courtney, for making that look so easy to make. Now I flavor my coffee with it. Yeah, I need to do that so bad. Okay, January is Lion Diet with Anita. Great, I'm going to do that too. I eat 0 plants save for fermented raw sauerkraut, just meat and aged cheese, a little Greek yogurt. Don't know if I need to eliminate further. Feel great. If you feel great, keep doing what you're doing. Oh, not supposed to have dairy, but it is eggnog season. Very true. And guys, that brings us to 6 p.m. Want to do a drawing? Let's see who's going to win this book. We all love Karen Miles. Such a great lady. Yeah, she was great. I just hung out with her on Saturday. We had a Chicagoland meetup. Let me share my screen so we can see who's going to win a copy of this book today. Giveaway tool. Share. All right, cool. Here we go. 36 entries. Who is going to win today? The Carnivore Collective. You won the book today. Let's see. You need to send me an email at mamamitich@gmail.com with your address, and I will send out your book. Boom. Congratulations at the Carnivore Collective. Are you still with us? Be sure to leave a comment there in the comment section here in the next minute or two. Otherwise, I'm going to draw another winner. So at the Carnivore Collective, make sure to comment and let us know if you're still here. We have another question while we're waiting. What's your views on adding chicken to carnivore? I love chicken. Chicken's great. I think it's a good, I wouldn't want to base an entire diet, carnivore diet around chicken because it's just not that fatty, even the fattier cuts. But I think you can add chicken just fine to carnivore. I eat conventional chicken. You could do organic if you want to. It's just so expensive right now. And I don't have any problems with it. All right, at the Carnivore Collective, are you with us? Are you with us? Yay, they are with us. You're very welcome. Make sure to send me an email at mamamitich@gmail.com with your address, and I will send out your book tomorrow. I have a couple more books I'm sending out from some other giveaways that I've been doing on my videos. I've been doing some giveaways on my videos, so be sure to pay attention to those. Everybody, this was super, super fun. Thank you for hanging out with us. Yes, meat stock is coming up in May. I can't wait to see everybody. Chicken is half my protein. I've healed that way. Great. That's good to know. You know, I think I love chicken. I eat a lot of it. And Carnivore Collective, wonderful. Send me that email and I will get that sent out to you. Guys, this was so much fun. We're going to be doing this again next week, 5 p.m. Central, and Dr. Robert Kiltz is going to be our guest. Be sure to join me again, and I will see you next time. It was so awesome to hang out with you, and I'm happy to be back. So thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.